So welcome back, everybody. And I'm very pleased and honored now to introduce you to a person, a very interesting person and a very interesting vision related to this person. My pleasure is to spend 10 minutes of interview with Vineet Mittal, the president of Avaada Group from India. Hello, Vineet, can you hear us?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
What time is it in India, if you are in India?
So it's a 7:30 in the evening.
Okay, so you are still awake and ready to talk with us for 10 minutes.
Yes, it would be an honor to interact with you.
So let me tell you that I met Vineet in Bhutan a few months ago for just a few hours. And what came to my mind is that, you know, the goals of our conference, the three goals of climate, economy, and happiness, they are quite well reflected in Vineet's activity and action, because as you will see, he's a very happy person, and I think this has to do with the Indian culture, but he's investing a lot for climate, in particular with energy, and he will tell you more. And so he is connecting the three pillars in one action. So can you please, Vineet, tell us more about your company and what you're doing in India?
We were one of the early movers into clean energy space in India. I started Avaada way back in 2010 when solar was very expensive and wind was not so prominent source of energy in India's energy mix. And almost 1/3 of Indian population had no access to electricity at that point of time. So I thought, what's the best way to contribute back to the society, which has given me so much? And during my research, I found that electricity is inversely proportional to poverty. And I learned that there has to be the right balance between the economic growth and environment and energy requirement of a nation. So one of the reason India still continues to have multi-billionaires and people who survive at $1 or $2 earning a day, why there is so much of a stark difference that 1/3 of the population had no access to electricity at that point of time. I'm talking about 10 years back. And what's the best way to give back to the society is providing electricity access to the remote areas and creating the employment opportunity there. And what would be the best channel to access and supply that electricity? We started using solar and wind to do that. I was fortunate that I set up India's first large ground-mounted solar PV power plant way back in 2011, which was just 15 megawatt. Compared to the plants which we are developing, is my largest one is around a single project of 1,000 megawatt in capacity. So we were the first one in India to develop a large grid-connected solar plant plus complete 1,000 megawatt of solar plant 4 years back, and now we have commissioned more than 2,000 megawatt of solar power plant, and around 3,000 megawatt of solar power plants are under construction. We are financed by European Multilateral Institute, DG, FMO, Proparco, and Asian Development Bank. They have supported us in this journey because, like me, they are very passionate about helping India become more energy reliable and access to those energy through clean sources of energy. And the way actually we picked up our organization name, it's called Avaada, which is actually derived from two Indian words, Ayurveda, which is means science of life, and Vada, which means promise. So actually our name is derived from our value system that our organization stands for the promise of sustainable future. Avaada was founded with a philosophy of making a world a better place to live. And I tell my team that we inherited this environment, these natural resources from our parents, and it's our responsibility to live responsibly and give world to our next generation in a better form without destroying and exploiting the nature day in and day out. So at Avada, our core belief is that every enterprise should not be only driven by the financial profit, but should have a higher purpose and have accordingly, we have identified our purpose as welfare of society and development of our nation as the core purpose. And electricity and clean energy is helping us achieve the same.
Okay, so you have investing and you are building a lot of clean energy power plants, but at the same time, it's part of your company, the happiness and the wisdom and also the health and the lifestyle. I've heard you saying many times that you're advocating for practices of lifestyle can be conducive to human health. Maybe this comes from the teachings in Indian culture. You know, what we see is that sometimes the Europeans are very active, but we do miss the spirituality. And sometimes Indians are very spiritual, but they miss the activity. How do you balance this?
So actually, we all benefit from legacy of our culture and value system. Most of us in India believe in Hinduism, where the basic principle is live and let live. And we consider all the natural resources like sun, the wind, and the river, and the mountains as divine sources and our God who have blessed us. So our culture teaches us to live in harmony with the nature. And we have been trained since childhood that earth has enough for one's need, but does not have enough for everyone's greed. So if we use the resources given to us by Mother Earth and planets responsibly, then nature has abundance. There is no shortage of any resources. And if you look at the current pandemic, what it has taught us, that nature has tremendous self-healing power. And if human beings learn to live in harmony with nature, a lot of problem can be solved. Like in India, there was an acute problem of air pollution. And now people living in Delhi are able to see Himalayas because our pollution levels have dropped down significantly over COVID period and due to extensive lockdown. We used to have almost top 10 most polluted city of the world, and now those cities itself, their air quality has significantly improved, that they have become cleaner and greener place to live. Similarly, if you look at river pollution, which was another major challenge in India, during COVID, most of the rivers have cleaned itself up, and river Ganga, which is Indians worship as the goddess, the water of that river is like you can directly drink from the river. So what we have seen is that if we start respecting the nature and and all the good things which life has given us, and change our lifestyle to enjoy them, not abuse them. And that's what our culture has taught us, and that gives you the happiness when you see more greenery around you, When you enjoy, you can walk happily on the streets. You see less air pollution, non-noticeable air pollution. So these all becomes sources of joy in your life, and we encourage that through our business, through our foundation activities, and try to increase more and more awareness about these aspects. Like we would talk regularly about that how, as per WHO, around 7 million people lose their lives due to air pollution globally. So things which are not visible doesn't cause us an impact. It causes a huge impact on our health, life, as sustainability and
So,
joyfulness overall.
so since our 10 minutes unfortunately are
Right.
finishing, I would love to talk to you for hours. But let me ask you something. You know, we have had some presentations here about the World Happiness Report, and India is ranking number 144 in this happiness. What is your feeling about this? Is this a wrong report, or what do you think?
So fortunately, my friend David, who is the one of the main supporter for this initiative, introduced me to the author of the report in Bhutan, and I had a chance to discuss with him. In fact, a few of my American friends, I had hosted them in India, and had a chance to send them to some of our remote location, and their initial observation was that India is very crowded uh, and very densely populated, and we see poverty at all the places. But what intrigued them is that they have seen more people smiling, even with all the adversity, than they had seen anywhere else in the world. So actually, our culture and the Indianness can be defined as the believe in the power of karma. Like we believe that whatever action we do has a consequence. So if we do positive for others and we will have a better sustainable lifestyle, we will get the same output for ourselves. So our joy does not come from, or happiness does not come from the materialistic success. Almost 70 to 80% of Indians very strongly believe in family system, and and they don't derive their happiness through modern facilities and infrastructure. They are happy because they believe in something much bigger. They believe in that probably they are living in some of these challenging environment because of their past life. So I was very shocked by this number. And if you look at Bhutan, India, and a lot out of Southeast Asian country, believe into the power of meditation, mindfulness, and karma. And I find that I see more happy people in India, Bhutan, and some of these Southeast Asian countries than rest of the world. So I would request World Happiness Institute to relook at this and objectively measure the happiness by visiting India thoroughly, and take statistically valid data, because social media and email are not the right way to survey Indians.
Very good. So the Professor Denevi is here with us, so I'm sure he will take your challenge. And so I'm very glad that there is a competition on happiness, and this is what we really want. So thanks very much. We need keep on your job with your Avaada group, and also keep on creating good karma for planet and environment. Thanks very much, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much.